Here's the disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are risky. Do your due diligence and invest at your own risk. You can lose money. Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is TrajicK, and this is Crypto Plunder Episode 1, from $100 to $1,346. Alright, first I want to thank everybody for watching this show. You could be doing a lot of other things, so I don't want to waste your time. So let's just get into who I am really fast, and then get into why I'm in the cryptocurrency space, and give you an overall about my background and what the main cryptocurrency I've been watching. Alright, so a bit of background. First, as you can see on the screen, I'm a music producer. Been producing music for years now. Did so after I got out of the military. Once I got out, I decided I was going to get into graphics because I could draw. Became a graphic designer and put out a couple albums. Got into web design, web development, PHP web development. From doing my web development, I started really getting into learning things about money again. Most so because I missed a stock back in 94, really between 93, 94. My staff sergeant told me about Microsoft. I didn't invest. It was at $5 a share. And by the time I got out of the military in about 95, the stock was like making a tear. I think it's like at 40 something, 50 something dollars a share. So basically I missed out on an opportunity to buy something low and sell it high. And that's what began the process of me really trying to understand finances. A friend in Citibank had put me on to Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which was really dope. Learned a lot from that book about assets and liabilities. Then went on to read The Richest Man in Babylon, which started teaching me about finances, on saving 10% of your income, putting money away, and it helped me pay off my debts. The thought process helped me pay off debts. I got into Rich Dad's cash flow game, the digital version, the video game version of it. And in this game, actually version 202 of the video game, introduced me to options, on buying options. Got into Warren Buffett's The Snowball later down the line. I think I was at Citibank. I was in Canon at the time when I got into The Snowball. Calls and puts. I actually became an options trader when I was working at Canon. So I worked at Citibank, Canon, First Data, a startup as I moved to Atlanta. But when I was at Canon, I got into penny stocks, options. I started shorting the market. I stopped trading options mostly because it was too convoluted with algorithms taking over. And algorithms were taking over the entire industry. Wall Street was emptying, as far as day traders had really gotten to into the sphere, but a lot of big machines, for microtransactions had come in and just started eating up the entire space. And algorithmic trading was it seemed like it was just killing. I'd look at a stock and I'd say, okay, well, this is going to go down, and all of a sudden it would just still make a tear going up. After I'd watched my hustle was, I would look at the gainers, then research the daily gainers. I'd research the stock and see, okay, did news come out that was, that this business was really going to go up, or was it just fluff? And I'd look for those fluff stocks, mostly in part due to the snowball, because Warren Buffett would look for those cigarette butt companies, those companies that had like one puff of smoke. Like if you had cigarettes in an ashtray, he would find those companies that just had one little puff in them, and then he would basically just get that last little bit of money out of it and then throw it in stock. He then became a value investor, and that's what I was trying to use some of that with a short and call position. If you don't know what options are, is you are able to borrow money to trade on a stock. So if you thought the stock was going down, it's a put down, where you think the stock's going down, or if you thought it was going up, you would buy a call. So I would put in my puts, and I made some money, but there was just some stocks that just made no sense, absolutely no sense, and I'd lose my shirt on it. And I just got frustrated with it because it seemed like there was so much greed in the market that I just left it alone, especially when it's just a bunch of computers and I didn't understand how to really place my orders. Which gets me into Bitcoin. Back here, I want to say in 2011, I got interested in cryptocurrency in 2011 at Bitcoin, mostly because it went from $1 to $31. So coming from the penny stock world, I was like, ooh, this is kind of interesting. But I didn't understand how to get into it. It seemed too complicated, and I was lazy. And I just didn't want to spend time doing all the stuff that was necessary to do it, so I just left it alone. I kept my eye on it, and right around here in 2013, when it shot up from 100 to, as you can see, right at 1,000, I was like, okay, there's something here, but I feel like I missed the boat because I still don't understand the technology. So I began the process of learning about it slowly, as I was still doing music, still making music. I got into making money and making digital currency in Second Life by selling clothes, and seeing that people lost interest, so I wasn't making as much money, pulled out, got into Citibank, and as I came right around, I want to say here, I started taking a really hard look in December of 2015. I started taking a hard look because I expected the market, it was going to go down, but since I still didn't really understand the space, I started to get it a bit, but as I was losing a little bit of my passion for it because I didn't understand why people should trade this, I started really around here keeping my actually here, let me take you to the chart. Right around here in 2016, I started looking into Ethereum. It's $10, and I started looking at it, and I was like, okay, well, here's this other coin, it's at 10, and having missed things like Microsoft before, I said, you know what, I'm gonna get involved because I like the technology. Again, going back to Warren Buffett's snowball, it's understanding what's the value proposition of the asset, so of the company as a whole. I didn't want to just trade numbers. I wanted to understand what was the value prop. So the value prop was understanding that this was a smart contract, and as a smart contract, this could change a lot of things. I could see a usage for it in music. I could see a usage for it for web-based businesses. I could see a usage for it in applications. I could see a usage for it in the video gaming space. Again, coming from Second Life, I could see a usage where smart contracts would make sense if you wanted to be able to build digital assets that could just program it by the algorithm alone, by the program alone. I could write these programs that could sell products and deliver it and make sure that it's being sold to that one person and they can't double dip and all that other stuff. So I really liked the smart contract ideal of it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy and go long on this. So around June, let me see, so I watched it here and I watched it go up, and right around here I decided to get in because I saw a little bit of weakness, and I was like, okay, I think I can get in here, and even if it doesn't go high, I'm gonna jump in. So I guess right around here, where, because it was still going up, right around here I got in, right when it was taking that little bit of a dip, and I jumped in here, and just a few days later, after it jumped in, boom, surged up. Happy, jumped down, not so happy. So I bought a little over 7 Ethereum, about $14.24. I sold it in November, so let's go over to November. I sold it in November. Let's run this out a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, I sold it around here. Dumb. Again, just I was being greedy and sold it, and this really happened because of the DAO hack. You know, so when the DAO hack happened, I ended up selling my position in November at 1083. So let me see, October. So right around here, I sold my position, and then I bought it back in February. Once the, let's see, I bought it back in February. I want to say, let's go to February. Yeah, I bought it back here. Again, I missed the lows. I should have been buying, but again, I wasn't trading. I wasn't paying attention. I had things going on in my life. I'd just been let go from a startup that I've been working at for 2 years, and my time was doing work crazy hours of the night for the startup. I was working 3 of their websites, so I ended up buying in February. I bought 6 of it back. I took $100 and bought 6 of it back in February at around $14 a share. So February 2016, so that's back here. So what I did is I bought some Ethereum at around 7. I bought 7 Ethereum in June of 2016. So right around here, right when it took this little dip. I then sold it in November of 2016, right here. Where is it? November. Right here, right when you see this trailing drop. This is right when the hack had happened. So I lost money on this trade. I actually ended up selling it at around 1083, and then I bought it back in February of this year, right around here at 14 bucks. So it'd be right around here. I bought it again around 1401. Again, my belief in the technology made me want to go ahead and get this because I believe this technology was good. And then as you see, it made a tear right here and shot up. I left it, set it and forget it, because I didn't think anything of it. And what I ended up doing was selling my position June, so last month. I sold my position right around here. I started selling my position on this drop day because I felt we were at the end of it, so let me go ahead and cash out. And I cashed out right up here at the top. Ended up pulling around 1,346.30. And right now I've just been letting it ride down before I get back in play. I started taking this extremely seriously then. That's when I started taking cryptocurrencies completely serious. And I saw a lot of people in the space, especially people that are in the hip hop community, that are teaching cryptocurrencies that really have no reason to be teaching it. They should not be teaching this. They don't know when to get in on a trade. They don't know when to get out of a trade. They don't know why they should be in a trade. It's just greed. Oh, I'm buying this this, they want to call it Illuminati stocks. Like, really? No, it's pump and dumps. There's plenty of pump and dumps out there. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of pump and dumps, and yes, you can make money on it, and some of those exchanges are shaky. I don't like putting my money in shaky things. I'm a value investor for the most part. I try to buy into things that I think, like, yeah, this is coming down. There's a reason it's coming down, and there's a reason why you should buy and hold in certain capacities if it's at its price point where it should be. But I wanted to start teaching it to people that I don't have it all. I don't know it all. I'm still learning trading as a whole, but there's some people that have no idea how to trade, have never traded anything else, have never been in a trade whatsoever, have never worked at a financial institution to understand why you buy or sell an asset class. So for me, coming from that background, I have a little bit of understanding, and I'm learning. Best believe I will give you links to some people that I'm watching. Some of it's not cheap, these guys but it's worth understanding the charts. But it's also worth reading some of the books that I've laid out to understand what you need to do with your money, regardless if you're making it or not. Like, don't just trade all day. Buy into assets, buy into value. I don't want to say assets, because this is a skeptical market. Most of the trades are just skeptical, like, oh, I'm just gonna jump in because this is what I think it's gonna do, and then when they start losing their shirts, oh, I'm scared, let me run. And that's what you're seeing right now. It should not have been, this run shouldn't have happened, but greed got in there, hubris got in here. So the main question, I know that some of you, I don't want to run this too long, are asking, is Ethereum something that you should be buying now? And my answer, as you look at this, what I'm using, thanks to Brian for teaching this, is I put the highs up here and I placed it where I actually had done my purchases, roundabout where I purchased that, and you can see the red zone. I'm not going to trade up here unless there's some grandiose news that can have it bump someplace else. I'm not going to trade here. I'm not going to trade at this level. I'm going to trade once it gets back into the green. Why? Because support, there's a little bit of support here, so there's might be some support here, and there might be some, it might fall to this point. I'm tracking this to go down to about here, and once it gets into the zone, I'm all over it. Really, I believe it might come down to here, because it held this position a heck of a lot longer, and it held a little bit longer position here. So I'm thinking right around this zone, it might bump around in here, and this is my buy zone. This is where I might get back into the space. Why am I feeling that way? Let's go to the weekly. Where's my week? There. Let's jump into the weekly. You see this? When you're dealing with a candle, your opening and close, yeah, the stock got pushed up here, it was down here, but at the same time, look at that. You've got people, uncertainty right here. These 2 points right here is uncertainty. I believe it's going to fall further. I believe right into this zone is where we're falling. And if we zoom in to this, what I do is I color and track my days, which is in green. My blues are my weekly numbers for where I had some weekly bounces. I also have my monthly. So let's pull the month up, the 1 month numbers. And this is my purple. So you can see we have some support here, a little bit of support there, and this. So if you look at where this is heading, if you look at this might fall right around to, it might bounce off this line right here. And that's 175. It might go all the way down to here and then to hit the 93. So I'm thinking that it's going to fall into this zone because there's no history of support quite yet. So let's go back to the weekly. So right here, uncertainty, uncertainty, drop. And you see uncertainty when you have this spinner right here, where you have it's almost not 100% the top, a spinning top, where it's spinning. It's basically, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I want it to be high. I don't know how low I want this to go. It's just spinning right here. Uncertainty drop. Another spinner. Uncertainty drop. Now, I don't know enough to be able to give you more trends that this could be, but I mapped mine based off of where I believed it was going to go. I plotted my line from the top here and just plotted it across here, touch there, and just let it extend a little bit. And we could see it going potentially right here. So if I go to my day, where are we heading? It's flowing down, down, down. I want it in this green. So right around here, so around maybe July, it might be a buy. But I'm gonna wait for it to rock down. It's playing around right now, but do we have a support? I have some lines here that says, okay, this could be a support line. Could be. If I go into past, we had some time on the day where it floated around here, but it's already breaking through. We had some days, but is it enough for me to say this is it? I can't say that. I think that this goes down a bit more, so I would wait. Unless there's some serious news that comes up that can support it. I would not get into this and watch it go down. So this is episode 1, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of who I am, a little bit of overview of why I trade, and when it comes to Ethereum, why I'm on a hold. We're going to be looking to begin a blog, I believe. Where depends on how the development goes. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. I might be on Steam. I just got approved for Steemit, so some of this will be viewed on Steemit. The blog might just be on Steemit for now until we actually look at the domain. We're not sure which domain we're gonna go with yet. If it's gonna be on Toxic Hustle or if we're gonna be on another site. Not quite sure yet, but this is the value prop we're trying to deal with, is cryptocurrencies, and I'm gonna be looking at being able to give, for now, maybe weekly updates on what I'm looking at. In time, we might even start a daily alert on things that's going on. Of course, news in the space. I didn't want to do any news today. I didn't want this video to run too long. So, guys, again, please be careful. I am not somebody that is I'm still new to this space. I'm not somebody that you should listen to this as investment advice. I've been telling people for a few weeks now that this was about to go down. I believe that it still has some steam to come down. Whether or not I'm right or wrong, only time will tell, but at least what I wanted to do was start showing you what I'm seeing, and hopefully it helps somebody. So my name is TrajicK Jeffrey, and this is Crypto Plunder episode 1, from 100 to 1346. Y'all have a great one. Peace.